In the Octagon, win streaks are hard to achieve. Here are the fighters who have the most impressive ones in the UFC. Number 5. Jon Jones. Jon Jones is without a doubt one of the best fighters in the UFC Light Heavyweight division, and would have topped this list if not for some unfortunate events, the majority of which was his own fault. After a disqualification loss to Matt Hamill in 2009 for throwing illegal elbows, Jones would win his next 13 fights. Jon would win the light heavyweight and interim titles, but both would be removed from him on separate occasions, the latter owing to a doping violation. Jones returned from his one-year suspension and fought Daniel Cormier to reclaim the title, going 14-0 in the process. However, Jones was marked for another doping violation by USADA, and the title was returned to Cormier. The fight was categorized as a no contest, putting an end to Jones' 13-fight win streak. Number 4. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib went 29-0 in his career, with 13 of those victories coming in the UFC. Khabib defeated Abel Trujillo and former lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos, and a shot at the lightweight belt seemed a done deal. Instead, champion Eddie Alvarez chose a money fight against featherweight champion Conor McGregor. This fueled Khabib's fire, and he went on to beat Michael Johnson and Edson Barboza to become 9-0 in the organization. While potential matchups with Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson fell through at various points throughout his UFC career, Khabib won lightweight gold at UFC 223 after defeating Al Iaquinta. He subsequently solidified his dominance in the division with a thrilling submission victory over Conor McGregor at UFC 229. Following victories over top contenders Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, Nurmagomedov chose to retire from MMA with a 13-0 record in the UFC. Number 3. Georges St Pierre. St Pierre dominated the UFC welterweight division for nearly a decade. The Canadian's reign over the division took a while to establish, with defeats to Matt Hughes and Matt Serra slowing his progress. With a victory over Josh Koscheck 4 months later, St Pierre resurrected and began his remarkable 13-fight win streak. In rematches, both Hughes and Serra were TKO'd, and GSP reclaimed his title. He went on to defeat BJ Penn, Thiago Alves, Jake Shields, Carlos Condit, and Nick Diaz, to become widely recognized as the greatest welterweight of all time. St Pierre vacated his title and retired from the sport at UFC 167. 4 years later, Georges would make a comeback, moving up a division to challenge middleweight champion Michael Bisping for the belt at UFC 217. St Pierre defeated Bisping to become a 2-division champion, extending his win streak to 13 fights. Number 2. Kamaru Usman. Usman is currently undefeated in the UFC, and no one has yet been able to take the title away from the Nigerian Nightmare. Usman is the current UFC welterweight champion, with a 15-0 record in the organization. Kamaru has dominated top rivals since taking the belt from Tyron Woodley at UFC 235, including 2 wins over Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal, as well as a TKO victory over Gilbert Burns. Prior to becoming the welterweight champion, Usman defeated top-tier talent such as Sean Strickland, Damian Maia, and Rafael dos Anjos. The Nigerian Nightmare is the company's current pound-for-pound number 1 and appears to be a strong contender to break Georges St Pierre's welterweight championship defense record, and Anderson Silva's 16-fight win streak. Number 1. Anderson Silva. Anderson won 16 straight fights in the UFC from 2006 to 2012, holding the middleweight belt for approximately 2,500 days. This included a complete beating of middleweight champion Rich Franklin, who was totally outclassed by Silva's striking defense. Silva's victory marks the start of the UFC's golden age in the middleweight division, as he defeated challenger after challenger, including Dan Henderson, Chael Sonnen, and Vitor Belfort. Silva exuded incredible confidence in the ring, and would often resort to showboating, which backfired against Chris Weidman in his 17th UFC fight. Silva was taunting Weidman, and left his own chin exposed, allowing Weidman to knock him out and break Silva's unbeaten streak. Silva's domination came to an end when he broke his leg in a rematch with Weidman, and the Spider went on to win only one of his next 7 UFC fights, before retiring in 2020. If you like the content, please like and subscribe for more. Check out other incredible achievements and charismatic personalities on my channel. Link on the screen somewhere and in the description.